my loves, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, hello. I am here with two of my best friends in the world because they're finally in town for once. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Taylor.
I'm Brittany.
And these two are on a channel called Brit and Tay TV, which I very recently learned the "and" stands for our other friend Andrew.
Yes, he is not here. I mean, he's here, but not
He's not amongst us. You'll hear like the popping in the background this entire video. I'm sorry, it's 4th of July weekend.
So those are fireworks.
Those are fireworks, not gunshots. LA isn't that terrifying, maybe.
Annie's actually going to tell the stories.
Annie is actually also a twin. She's like a sextuplet, I think. I don't know how many dogs were in her litter. You guys know I love creepy stories. I love anything and everything weird. And actually, we were talking the other night, just hanging out, and they were telling me some of their really creepy stories, like their experiences being twins and things that have happened to them, both paranormal and just like weird. And I kind of thought we could just chat about them. I used to babysit twins like back in the day. It was very brief, and it was 2 twin girls, ironically. But I have like a few stories from that, so I thought today I would just tell some weird twin stories.
For the most part, any set of twins usually have their own little language from very young, and it might not even be words, but we will communicate with each other without actually communicating with each other. It's just a I know, she knows kind of deal.
Like a secret language.
Like a secret, yeah.
Literally, that's one of my stories about the twins that I watched, was they had like, they couldn't even talk, like they couldn't even form words, but they were like, I can't form words either, but they were so devious, and they were constantly getting into things. Like one of the girls, they were both in a playpen. I don't remember how old they would have been because they couldn't talk, but they were like standing upright. And so one of them, it's like they looked at each other, and I was on the other side of the room, and I could see it in their faces. They were speaking to each other, and they knew what was going to happen. And one of them climbed up on the gate, and she was like putting all of her weight against it, and the other one started fumbling on the other side to like grab the childproof lock. And it was just like, I could see it in their faces, like they had like formulated this plan, and I'm like, you guys can't even like speak. And you're like,
twins are
trying to escape your dungeon of playpen.
Like we're on the same wavelength.
Or anytime her and I got in trouble, our mom would send us to our room, and if we were young, we thought we were really strong, and I still think this is oppressive, but we pushed our bunk beds in front of the door.
Oh my god.
And thought we were going to barricade our mom out. We were like, okay, you want to keep us in here? We're going to keep you out there. And she opened the door and pushed everything right out of the way. She's like, what are you guys doing?
How old were you guys?
We were young. We thought we would always team up on our mom anytime we got in trouble.
Even if only one was in trouble, the other one would join. It's just, you're always a team.
I'm assuming that's a twin thing. Like you guys, I mean, you told me a lot how like you guys like know what each other is thinking. Like you always like are in sync. You've got each other's backs. It's just.
I can think of the most random thing in the world, something I haven't thought of in 10 years, and I could look at her, ready to tell her, and she'll already know.
So
and then I'll be like, I didn't say anything yet, or tell you yet, and then she would tell me exactly what I was about to tell her.
It's so creepy. What was the story you were telling me the other day about that? Because it weirded me out so bad that you were like thinking about something, and Britt literally looked at you and started talking about it. Or was that your story? I don't know. Somebody was telling me that. I think it's so creepy.
I was randomly thinking of a movie, and I couldn't for the life of me remember the name of the movie, but I knew we watched it like 10 years ago. And I turned to her to say, hey, you remember that movie? She looks at me and she just goes, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, what? She's like, yeah, I remember. I was like, I didn't even say anything. She's like, yeah, but that movie with this and that, blah, 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 and described the whole movie to me. I was like, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That is so weird.
I just kind of know. It's almost like when a random thought pops into my head, and I look at her, and I could tell she kind of had the same reaction that something random just popped into her head. It's like we both just know it was the same thing. Our mom used to tell us one of the creepiest things we used to do, we would like have our crayons out and paper out, and we would be across the room drawing pictures. And then we'd be like, oh, Mom, look what I drew. And they'd be the same thing.
No.
And she'd be like, you know, you drew the same picture, right? And it was just like, whatever to us. Like, of course we did.
Oh,
like,
that's so creepy.
Even all of our siblings or our parents, even our friend Andrew, anytime he texts both of us or they text both of us the same thing, we always respond with the same thing, and we'll always have the same spelling mistakes, and they always yell at us because they're like, stop, that's so creepy, why are you doing that?
Same punctuation,
we have no idea.
Like same, all capsing the same word, just
like 3 yeses.
Do you guys have the same handwriting?
It's
It's a
similar.
little different,
Okay.
But
it
slightly
is,
different.
yeah.
You were telling me the other day how, like, apparently your fingerprints are so similar and, like, your DNA is so similar that if you ever commit a crime, they can't prove which one it was.
Apparently, yeah.
So you both just have to say that you did it.
Yeah.
And then no one can go down for the crime.
Because apparently it's a thing if two people admit to the same crime.
Also, I'm giving, like, identical twins out there, like, go ahead, like, commit the crime, you know?
Yeah.
Great influence.
Here's your pass.
In case you ever kill anybody. Here's how to get away what happens.
Here's the plan.
Apparently, if two people admit to a
Oh my
crime when only one person did it, they cannot convict both people because legally, like, one person is innocent and you can't just commit two
I
people.
wonder if that's
So
gonna
if
happen.
she like commits a crime and they're like, oh well, it's
We
like
have your DNA.
your
but
DNA. It might also be her DNA, but and then we're like, oh well, I did it. No, I did it. They can't put us both in jail apparently.
You walk out.
And they have to let us go. And that's what we've been told. So I don't know if it's don't like test it out. Like,
Yeah.
if it fails, like come back and yell
We don't
at
know
us.
how it is in execution,
Don't go-
you
yeah.
know?
We haven't tested it, and we probably don't plan on it. But
It's
just,
like the fallback, you know? I'm trying to think if I have another good creepy one. I want, like, do you feel
anything
comfortable
you've
telling?
experienced with us.
No, I've never, like, I feel,
How
okay,
about when we say
Say
the same thing
all the time.
Because
we
we
do that
a
a
lot. We watched this, we watched this video on twins that, like, basically, I don't even know what that was.
it's called The Most Annoying Twins in the World.
It's
Look it
so
up.
where they try to say the same thing as each other to make them seem more connected than they really are, which I think is kind of like silly because like even
They're
just
so bad at it. They're
but
so
just
bad at
even
it.
like hearing like what you guys are saying, like you obviously are so connected. I'm trying to think of more stories with those twins,
What
but they were
Sure.
so
Was you
young. I
babysat
babysat
twins?
twins, so I was trying to think of
Did they
anything
ever
weird.
gang up
Did
on
they?
you?
If one started crying, would the other start crying?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, I guess I assumed that was because they were two babies, like, they were near each other, but then I worked in a nursery later, so I know that that's not true, because, like, when one baby starts crying, it's not like...
It's not like a chain
It's-
reaction
yeah.
with any other baby, you know?
like, wham, 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 wham.
No, yeah, but like
But that
twins,
makes
they
sense,
feel the
yeah.
same emotions and they feed off of each other's emotions. We were in preschool together and we literally beat up our preschool teacher because we didn't want to stay.
I mean, I'm sure we didn't do any damage, but
No, yeah, we
But
were
it
small
happened.
and weak.
there was two of us.
But
and
one
only
would
of her.
cry and then suddenly the other would start crying and it's like, almost as a twin, you can't not cry.
Oh,
Like you
that's
suddenly
so
feel what the other twin
interesting.
is feeling, like frustrations or sadness, and it.
You literally just feel it, like,
Yeah.
simultaneously. That's really weird. Yeah, that makes sense, though. Like, with those twins, they were, like I said, really young, and I didn't watch them for very long. It was, like, I think over the span of a few months, like, every Friday and Saturday and
Mhm.
Sunday, it was, like,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
parents wanted to go do
Yeah.
stuff, and they were young enough to the point where they couldn't talk, but I could tell they were always just talking to each other. They were always in communication, like,
Yeah.
I would come into the bed, like, their bedroom at night, and they would be in separate cribs, like, and they would just be staring at each other. They wouldn't even be talking or
Yeah.
anything. That's okay. That was really
creepy.
creepy to me.
That's creepy.
Like,
we did that too.
like
We
I
do that
would-
every night before
we still
bed,
do that.
actually.
I just sit there and stare at each other. I will say one time I came in the room because I wanted to ask this. You told me the weirdest paranormal story ever the other night, and it like creeped me out so
Oh,
badly.
yeah.
But I walked into the room one time, and they weren't staring at each other. They were staring at the corner opposite of the door, like there was something over there. And immediately, like I looked over to see if anything was there, and there was nothing. They were both staring at it, like there
Oh,
was
yeah,
something there,
that's
and it
creepy.
creeped me
That
out
is so creepy.
so bad.
I'd be like, okay, good night.
Time to burn down the house.
So here's like a creepy story that's kind of a little more paranormal than twin weird. We shared a room for like 18 years of our life, just
Yeah.
about. We had a desk and a nightlight plugged in underneath that we slept with every night because we needed our nightlight even at 18 years old.
Listen.
It like went out one night, so I get up out of bed, crawl under the desk to start like fidget with it and try and fix it. I'm like, oh, I can't see anything, and I'm in my head. I'm thinking like, oh, I need this light turned on so I can see what I'm doing. And suddenly the light turns on. I'm like, thanks, Britt. I don't hear anything, and I turn around, and she's still in her bed across the room from the light switch, and she's just staring at me, and I'm like,
I didn't do that.
That
was
is
me.
that's like telepathic twin things. That's like you both were like
Yeah.
it's like your thought traveled into her head and then she was like,
Yeah,
and
she's
let
like,
there
got
be
it.
light. And let there be light. I don't know why people are so fascinated with twins. Number one, like I mean I know it's like a rare thing, but people are so fascinated with identical twins in general that I guess I just kind of assumed you guys like read each
Like,
other's minds, which you kind of do.
People always
Which
ask
kind
us
of,
that.
we share memories, which is another weird
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah.
a creepy one that kind of creeps me out. Is we actually share memories More so
Right.
when we were younger. We have certain memories from our childhood that we're not sure which twin it actually happened to, because both of us remember everything about it.
That's so
Like, it's
scary.
stored, like, as a memory. Like, I will go and tell a story, like, oh my god, this one time, this happened to me. And then she'll be like, no,
That was me.
that was me. And we'll fight back and forth, like, no, that happened to me, no, that happened to me. And then somebody will be like, no, actually, it was her, you weren't even there. But we both have the memory of it, every detail of it. And so our whole lives we used to fight over whose
Whose memory
this,
it
whose
was.
memory it was.
Yeah.
It's so many memories, we have no idea who it actually happened to.
So we were talking the other night, like in kind of like conjunction with the memory thing, how you guys will like look at pictures and not know if it's you or not. Like literally, Taylor, I think you said to me like, imagine looking at a photo and not knowing whether or not it's you.
Yes. That's like
That's
almost
creepy.
creepy for us. Like, I'll look at a picture, I'm like, is that me? Is that her? I don't know.
Yeah. Like,
And-
I don't, yeah.
and
Our
s-
baby pictures, half of them were like, we don't know if that's actually us or not.
Being an identical twin, you always have that thought in your mind that, what if I was
We were
switched
switched.
one day? Like, we don't know. We'll never know if her and I were switched. If we were switched multiple times.
How
Yeah.
could they ever know, or how
Right.
could your mom even know? Maybe at one point you were Brittany and you were Taylor, and like,
and then maybe we got switched back.
But I couldn't imagine being Brittany, like being named Brittany. Or,
yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that so
So
weird?
weird.
I can't imagine
Possible.
like any of that because my brother and I look nothing alike. People don't even think we're related. We have no like sibling bond. Like we're pals, but like I,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like seeing half the stuff that you guys go through is like it's so interesting to me because most of the population will never experience that. So I
It's
just
definitely
kinda,
a different experience.
yeah, I'm so glad that you guys like came and talked about it with
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Thank you so
Anytime.
much,
Yes.
pals.
Oh, of course.
We like to keep the creepy stuff going, so over on their channel, we are going to be reacting to some creepy text stories. I haven't chosen which one yet, although I think we should all react to it at once. I think I'll just find one and it'll be like,
Yes.
if it looks entertaining, that's what we're going to do, but you guys know I love those kinds of things, so I thought I would bring them into the world of
It'll be our
scaring the
first
crap out of
time.
each
I know,
other.
I've never done
Our
it before.
first time, twin edition. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please go check out Brit and Tay TV because these people are amazing. They're some of my best friends in the world. I love them to tiny baby bits and pieces, and you will love them too. So I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. I think that's all. Bye.
Bye.